happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. I know you guys could probably already tell it is going down just by that title alone. We've got CNN Scott Jennings coming out, not playing around this newest update. I've really grown, to be a fan of him in these last couple of weeks. Would never watch CNN until I seen Scott Jennings absolutely going in. He's the guy that he's always going to make waves in the pool, and he's doing just that in this newest update where he is defending Donald Trump to the utmost degree. I'm excited to get into to see exactly how Scott Jennings is going down with a bang. So we're not straight into it. So make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Before we get into it, y'all, hit that like button, also hit that subscribe button for your boy. Without further ado, let's hop straight into it. See what my guy Scott's got to say today.
I revere Dick Cheney. I worked for Dick Cheney. I served in the Bush White House when he was vice president of the United States, and deeply respect him. I think what most Republicans would say is A, this statement's a little hyperbolic. B, that there is as much to fear of a policy future under Kamala Harris and possibly Democratic control of the Senate as there is to fear from what you're mad about that Donald Trump has done in the past. And so my suspicion is most Republicans are going to say, I'm just not prepared to turn the country over to people who previously served for the last 20 years, called you a war criminal. I don't want to turn the country over to them because I fear them jerking the country to the left. So I think a lot of people in Washington will take note of this. Will working class people in Pennsylvania take note of it? It helps Harris. What helped Trump today? We were talking about Dick Cheney in the previous segment. He got the endorsement today of the National Fraternal Order of Police. Hundreds of thousands of police officers represented by the National FOP today. So I guess if you're Trump, even though it might have been an enthusiasm juicer for you, as Jim said there, at the same time, you don't have to go back to court. You don't have to face the attacks all over again. And you now have this police endorsement to tout on top of it, which is something of a shield when Kamala Harris and the Democrats, accuse you of being a felon and a criminal and so on.
A convicted felon to be.
Oh my goodness. That's the entire reason why I feel like Judge Juan Merchan, that crooked judge, wanted to delay the sentencing of Donald Trump, push it back, because he knows that that appeal process could have potentially been rather quick and got Donald Trump's name wiped clean really quickly. And by him delaying it, now they can keep running on this narrative to say that, we've got a convicted felon. Donald Trump can't even vote. He can't even vote for himself in an election because he's a convicted felon. So you're going to vote for someone who can't vote themselves. And they're just trying to make all these just wild accusations on Donald Trump. We all know this is a political persecution, a political witch hunt by the left, the lamestream. These left-wing lunatics are the ones who came after Donald Trump with this political persecution. And just so they could do this. I mean, come on, stop it with the convicted felon thing.
Democrats, accuse you of being a felon and a criminal and so on.
A convicted felon to become the president of the United States?
Well, most Republicans think that the case on which he was convicted should never have been brought, that it was bogus charges and that was conducted in a kangaroo court. So when Democrats call him a convicted felon, Republicans say, this was invalid and it was nothing more than a political attack launched in a blue state by a political court. That's how Republicans are going to see it. And then they can pivot to this FOP endorsement and say, look, if the Fraternal Order of Police had any concerns about Donald Trump and how he follows the law, they wouldn't have endorsed him.
Ooh, right there. And that right there is why I could get behind Scott Jennings. I mean, this guy is just simply going to call it how it is, brother. He's got 3 left-wing lunatics, 4 at this point, all staring down his face, hoping that he doesn't call them on their stuff. He still does, saying, hey, everyone on the right knows this was all charade, phony baloney, baloney case. We all know that. And on top of that, we got the Fraternal Order. We got them endorsing Donald Trump, the entire police force. Come on now, guys. If he was that bad, he would never have gotten endorsement from the police. I mean, hey, Scott Jennings laying it all out there. Listen to him, guys. Listen to him go.
That might be left out there.
Well, he has to come to this debate prepared to prosecute the case that electing Kamala Harris is just having more of the same. I mean, that's his whole campaign here. If you're unhappy with Biden and you don't think what they've done on the economy is working for you, you can't leave the same people in charge. He has to be able to know the record, know what vote she has cast, know the things she has said, everything she has done on the Biden administration. He just has to know it cold. Now, in 2020, when he debated Biden, the first time around, not good. The second time around, he actually was very well prepared, and he was able to sort of be very specific in back and forth with Biden. So I know he can do it. But that's it. People have to turn off the TV thinking, yeah, I really do want change, and Trump is the candidate of change, not Harris.
Cheney, would you like to jump in there?
Well, I mean, normally that's the case. I mean, she's had a very consequential vice presidency. She's cast, I think, the most ever tie-breaking votes in the Senate of any vice president, including on Joe Biden's specific economic program, which drove the country into a massive inflationary spiral, which everyone is mad about. And on top of that, she, in her own words, last person in the room with Joe Biden when they made the disastrous decision on Afghanistan. So I think in some cases, you're right, Van, the vice president is relatively inconsequential. She has been.
I almost forgot Van Jones and his other host was there, guys. You know, usually on CNN, the left-wing lunatics, they always want to interject as soon as you get on the heater, as soon as you go on a tirade, absolutely exposing the truth. They haven't said one word. Van Jones is quiet as a church mouse. Oh my goodness. And that's how you know. There's nothing. You can't rebuttal that. It's flat out facts. Like, come on, guys.
A consequential vice president. I think the consequences have been bad. Trump has to be able to make that case at the debate.
Is he wrong?
Well, I think most Republicans would argue that the dangers of Donald Trump are far outstripped by the dangers of a Kamala Harris presidency when you consider just how far to the left she may want to take the country. I mean, I know she's changing all of her positions now, but no Republicans really believe that she's a moderate. They believe, what her initial instincts were when she got into politics. I mean, she's a California Democrat whose instincts were to side with Bernie Sanders on virtually every issue of the day and then run for president on that platform. And so that's what Republicans believe she is. And they think there are real consequences about the future of the country under a president who would go so far left, particularly if Democrats got or retained control of the United States Senate and eliminated the filibuster. This country, our government, could take a sharp left turn in a hurry. And so Vice President Cheney, who I revere, I worked to elect this man vice president twice. I worked in the White House under Vice President Cheney. I revere him. I respect him. I think his statement was a little hyperbolic. And I also think most Republicans are going to disagree with him on the conclusion about what's more dangerous for the future, generally a center-right government or a very left-wing government. There's no question that the parties have changed. I mean, since the George W. Bush days, you have had cohorts of Republicans that have migrated out, and some of them have migrated over the Democratic Party. It's also true that the Democratic Party has changed. You've had a lot of working class voters, union members, and others who've migrated over to the Republican Party. So you have had some, cross-pollination, some shifting coalitions.
And there's a reason why everyone's migrating. There's not just a little shift over to the Republican Party. There's a massive wave that is coming over. And they're coming over in support of Donald Trump just because of his agenda and his forthcomingness with his policies. We can see exactly what this guy stands for versus on the other side, it's just hidden. Everything is in the dark. You don't know what's going on.
And what I would simply say is that Democrats have called Dick Cheney a war criminal for 20 years. And now all of a sudden they're clapping like seals to get his endorsement. This does not strike me as people who are interested in listening to your conservative viewpoints. They are hungry for power. They will take Dick Cheney's endorsement today. But believe you me, in their hearts, they wouldn't want to go out to dinner with Dick Cheney, let alone have him have any influence over the next government. And I doubt that he would.
Right there, guys. Scott Jennings absolutely going in once. I don't think Van Jones said one word otherwise throughout that whole entire segment. That's completely uncharacteristic of him. Van Jones is usually quick. He's like Dana Bash with interjecting, getting between the truth. But right here, there's nothing really you can say. Donald Trump is way ahead of Kamala Harris. And this right here shows you, look at this, guys. This is at a Donald Trump rally, and I can almost guarantee you, none of these folks were paid, bought, bussed in, told there was going to be a free concert. Just look how many folks. There is droves of folks that come out. None of this AI people, these are all people who are truly just behind Donald Trump. And I can guarantee there's a ton of, former Democrats in the crowd, people who at some point supported Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. But Scott Jennings brings up a very valid point where he's saying that, if you're supporting Kamala Harris, you have to keep remembering that she is one and the same, if not worse, than Joe Biden. They're the same exact candidate. She's trying to distance herself or, trying to race to the middle and say that she's some moderate. But we all know she is a left-wing lunatic, guys. Come on now. We got one last clip, guys. This is Dr. Ben Carson speaking on Kamala Harris, her flip-flopping policies. I love to check out what Dr. Ben Carson has to say. I feel like he also called the balls and the strikes pretty well. So let's check him out.
I think it's going to be one of the most consequential debates ever, because people will finally get a chance to hear from Kamala Harris what she believes. And all this business about flip-flopping, you have to wonder if she has really flip-flopped, because she said that her values have not changed. So what kind of values are we talking about? You know, values that, as the DA in San Francisco led to a policy where people can go into stores and take $900 worth of stuff with little or no consequences.
Hey, Dr. Ben Carson making and drawing a very valid point right there, saying that look what she did in San Francisco, guys. I mean, are we seriously going to try to let her do that to our country? I mean, and just look at right here, they're listing her flip-flops then and now, ban on fracking, and now she wants to allow fracking. The zero emissions, moving towards, put penalizations on folks who don't have zero emission cars. Now she's saying there's no electric vehicle mandate. Support on the mandatory gun buyback, saying she wants to take away folks' Second Amendment rights. And now she's saying she's against that. I mean, come on. When does this stop? When do we start holding her accountable? I'm glad we got Dr. Ben Carson here laying it all out. Look at this.
Or values that lead to not deporting drug dealers who are resulting in the death of American citizens, or the kind of values that allow you to kill babies right up until the time of birth, and maybe even beyond that time, opposing legislation that would save babies that survive abortion attempts. You have to wonder about that. Values that lead you to mandate what kind of car people should drive, or what kind of stoves they should have, as opposed to letting the free market forces. So what you're going to see in the debate is Donald Trump running on his past policies, and Kamala Harris running away from her past policies. So it should make for a very, very interesting evening.
There you have it, guys. Dr. Ben Carson leaving us with a very strong statement there, saying, hey, Donald Trump, we already know what he's going to be doing during the debate. Come Tuesday night, Donald Trump is solely running on his past policies. All of his achievements, what he's done in the past, where Kamala Harris is going to be trying to run and distance herself as far away from all her past policies and everything she's done in the White House the last 3.5 years, sitting beside Joe Biden. I mean, come on. I can't wait. I'm very eager to see. I'm probably going to do, I want to do a live show of it. I'm thinking about it, trying to work out maybe getting Life with Reckless inside the debate. I don't know yet, folks, but definitely out in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Should we live stream the debates later on tomorrow? Help in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd enjoy more content like this, I'll catch you guys on the next one.